A new era on the Blue brand begins as WWE SmackDown moves to the USA Network after airing on Fox for the last 5 years. Although commonly referred to as the B Show, SmackDown has always had a special place in my heart, mostly due to the names associated with the show itself. My name is Jose Ramos Jr., and on this week's 5 Count, I share 5 of the greatest SmackDown superstars in WWE history. Let's go ahead and start with the obvious one, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the one who really labeled the show itself with his common phrase, laying the smackdown. He is really the reason why SmackDown took off. He gave it its namesake, and he provided countless memories in the early years of WWE SmackDown. There is no argument to be made that The Rock isn't one of the greatest WWE stars of all time. His legacy and his significance in the WWE and in professional wrestling to begin with is solidified. SmackDown simply would not be the brand that it is today without The Rock. Certainly his stardom, his charisma, and everything that he brought to the table as a competitor is what helped elevate the WWE and essentially SmackDown in the process. This one certainly hits close to home for me as well, because I remember growing up a small little kid watching Thursday nights, it was SmackDown, and being able to watch it with my family members and seeing guys like The Rock really perfect their craft, and it's always just fond memories for me to look upon. Now let's go ahead and move to the future. It was 2016 when AJ Styles made his debut in the WWE, but he really made a name for himself when he moved to the Blue brand. He was drafted to SmackDown in the 2016 draft, and it was during this second brand extension that he really found his place in the company. It was on SmackDown he would win the WWE Championship twice. He would have a couple reigns as the United States Champion. It was also on the Blue brand that he had memorable feuds with the likes of Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cody Rhodes most recently, and of course John Cena. It was on the Blue brand that AJ Styles really solidified himself as the face that ran the place. I think for certainly had you put AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw, there was potential for him to get lost in the shuffle, but putting him on SmackDown and showcasing his in-ring talent and his charisma really helped put him on the map in terms of the WWE audience. And for a time when the WWE kind of was suffering from a low point, he was really one of the main focal points that kept me involved and kept me invested in SmackDown. Although only being a part of the SmackDown brand for under 3 years, Eddie Guerrero's legacy will always be remembered as a member of SmackDown. He was in 2002 as a part of the SmackDown 6 alongside Chavo Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Rey Mysterio, and Edge. And of course, this was around the time that he really solidified himself as one of the more entertaining and credible stars on the roster, having won the United States Championship, the Tag Team Championship, and of course the WWE title in 2004. Eddie Guerrero was always one of the more entertaining stars on the roster. It was also in 2005 that he had a memorable feud against Rey Mysterio when he turned heel and even convinced the audience that he was the father of Dominic Mysterio, a storyline that still runs to this day. Of course, if you're not new to the channel, you know how much I hold that feud in high regard and why it means so much to me. And for that reason, Eddie Guerrero, not only because of the storyline, but because of his legacy, will always be one of the best SmackDown superstars of all time. We move from one of the more beloved baby faces in Eddie Guerrero to now one of the greatest heels in the modern era, Edge, who had found his way to the Blue brand in 2002, as I mentioned, during that SmackDown 6 era, having great matches alongside Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio. But it wasn't until 2007 when he made his way to SmackDown via a cash-in on The Undertaker that he helped put himself on the map as one of the greatest villains in WWE history. His storyline with Vicky Guerrero, his feuds with the likes of Batista, Triple H, and The Undertaker really helped for me become invested in Edge not only as a heel, but as a character. And as I mentioned previously with AJ Styles, Edge really was a main focal point of an era within WWE, within SmackDown, and for him, how could I not include him as one of the greatest stars in SmackDown history? And finally, for our last member of this top 5 list, I look at The Undertaker, and I wonder how could I not include him on this list. We have guys who have become franchise faces, Tim Duncan and the Spurs, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors, The Undertaker, and Friday Night SmackDown. All the way from 2002 up until his retirement, he was consistently on SmackDown. He was the face of that brand, and very much in the sense that Shawn Michaels represented Raw. The Undertaker having memorable feuds against Brock Lesnar, against Kurt Angle, against JBL, Edge, CM Punk, Batista, so many names that you could give out and provide. The Undertaker became a staple of that brand to the point where he didn't even need the world title. Although he would win it on a few occasions, he was a staple and his own attraction in his own right. The Undertaker, again, was the foundation that SmackDown was helped build upon, and he was also a reliable and credible babyface that they could always rely on whenever they needed to. And those are just some of the greatest SmackDown superstars of all time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment down below some of your favorite SmackDown memories, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel in order to watch some other videos like these that I've already made in the past. Thank you again for dropping by, and of course, my name is Jose Ramos Jr., and I'll see you all in the next one.